Selling yourself, such a dirty word, innit? But in reality, the most valuable thing that you can do in life is to sell. The reason why the word has such negative connotations is because the word itself makes us want to go on the defensive. I've worked in salons that are very sales driven and, borderline unethical. We were told to upsell our clients' colour treatments because they needed them, not because they wanted them. Who the fuck are we to tell someone when they need something? This is morally wrong in so many different levels. Now, if a client wishes to have, say, a colour treatment done, then this is when you should be selling something. And the only way you're going to sell something is by listening. Did you hear that? The biggest problem with sales is when people don't listen to our needs. If someone comes to me with an idea of a desired result, it is my job to come up with the process and how we're going to get there. And the only way in my mind that we're going to get there is in the way that it's going to be most beneficial to the client. Because if I deliver these results, then I'm going to gain my client's trust. And when I gain my client's trust, they're going to have every faith in every decision going forward. That is selling yourself. We sell ourselves every day. Every interaction is a sales pitch. I want you to understand my beliefs on every matter at hand. For example, say I was away for the weekend. I was away somewhere nice, had a good time, and I'm going to tell you about how great it was. That's what we do. I'm going to tell you what I got up to. I'm going to tell you about any visual observations, architecture. If the weather's good, I'm going to tell you about that. I want you to understand the best you can about my personal experience. Another example, say I'm in a bar and I'm chatting up a girl, which obviously I'd never do because I've got a girlfriend. I'm selling myself. I'm selling who I am, my interests, my beliefs, my values, my dreams, whatever it may be. We aim to get people to understand our version of reality. But as I've already said, the most important thing about sales is that we can't sell anything without listening. One of the best bits of advice that I can give you when it comes to sales, be yourself. Because it's far easier to be yourself than it is to try and be someone else. The only thing is that everything we've ever been taught about sales is the complete opposite. We're pretty much taught to be actors, but the harsh reality of it all is we're not as good of actors as we think we are. We hide behind forced smiles and programmed information, which has sadly become the norm. Unfortunately so, that it's going to take a considerable amount of deprogramming to get rid of some of these bad habits. However, nothing is impossible. The more and more you practice these techniques, the more and more you're going to get into the flow of things. Let's take learning to drive as an example. You start by driving with your hands firmly on the wheel, eyes gazed forward, everything's really tense. You're experiencing all sorts of levels of anxiety. But after some time, some consistency, plenty of experience, you start thinking about anything but driving. It's true, innit? You're driving along thinking, oh, wonder what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, or I wonder what I'm going to wear at the weekend. You're not thinking about driving because you know how to drive. It's second nature. Your natural instincts are kicking in. You're aware. So as you practice good techniques, they become habits. Authenticity is key. We're so consumed by social media now that we can spot the crisis actors, the people who aren't genuine. People's opinions are so readily available now that we can spot it a mile away when someone's been disingenuous. To establish who we are at our very core, first we have to establish what our values are. It's a tricky question because when was the last time you actually sat down and thought what your values actually are? Or what even is a value and why are they important? Do me a favour, pause this video and take a few minutes out and write down 3 things that you think are your core values, and don't just write down the ones that you think are going to be popular and make you look good. Write down the ones that are true to you. Oh, we're back. I'm going to share my 3 key values. Number 1, acceptance. I chose acceptance, and that doesn't mean that acceptance comes naturally to me, because it certainly doesn't. I'm someone who's very firm in my beliefs. And while I think it's really important to have your beliefs challenged, and I'm certainly always up for a debate, sometimes I do find it hard when someone is struggling to accept my point of view. So every day that I have to constantly remind myself that another person's point of view is relevant to their own version of reality. All our beliefs have travelled down certain paths and had to overcome certain obstacles, all with various determinations and outcomes. And this brings me on to my next core value, compassion. So as compassion is one of my main core values, now I have nowhere near mastered compassion. But the more I practice it and the more I try to have empathy towards other people, the more I start to understand other people. And that is exactly what my job is, to understand people. The more I work at it and the more I practice allows me to have the empathy to understand other people. So no matter who I've got in the chair, I can find some sort of connection to create some sort of bond with my client in order to understand them better as a person in order to achieve the best result that we possibly can. And that will shine through in my technical ability. Number 3, honesty. As I get older, I really hold a lot of value in honesty and staying true to myself. Because when you're being dishonest, the person you're letting down the most is you. In my younger years, I would lie to you about the colour of the sky. I was very troubled as a teenager. I had a lot of very angry thoughts, and I caused a lot of trouble in school and my home life. Now, why I behaved this way, I haven't quite got down to the bottom of. However, when these traits sometimes rear their ugly head, and sometimes they do, I usually ask myself, what is going on in my life that's coinciding with these negative thoughts? Is there something that's going on with myself? Is there something I'm struggling to accept? Am I putting off difficult conversation that I don't want to deal with? Whatever it may be, my lack of self-control in these moments, usually it always comes with a lack of me being honest with myself. Over the years, I'm still learning to help put the truth first, even when it might not be the most popular of things to say. Even if the truth hurts someone's feelings in the moment, it will never compare to the betrayal that they'll experience when it inevitably all comes out later on down the line. And I just don't want to make anyone feel like that anymore. We've all felt low at times, and the last thing I would want is to be responsible for making someone else feel bad. And this is when it ties back in to compassion. Because you will find whatever your 3 chosen core values are, they'll all be connected in some way, if they are indeed true to yourself. Now, I'm hearing you all asking, what does this have to do with barbering? And the answer is, everything. Because people buy people. They come to you for a haircut, they stay because of you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and if you want to see all our latest up-to-date free content, subscribe to us. Cheers.